Hello guys, welcome to this video on a Dynamics 365 Commerce connector for Intelligent Order Management, IOM. Let's look at a typical scenario where we operate an online store, third party, non-Dynamics, and we receive orders from that online store into Intelligent Order Management. So that order is received there, and then we have the ability, of course, from IOM to orchestrate it and to distribute it across various systems. For example, we can distribute it to a marketplace partner for third-party fulfillment, or we send it to finance and operations. The downside here is that if we use the standard finance and operations provider, which is available for IOM today, then we go around retail functionality. So it doesn't land as a retail sales order, not being compatible with HQ commerce functionality. And since it's not a retail sales order, it's also not compatible with the other channels, right? We cannot recall it on the point of sale. We cannot fulfill it from there. And since this connection is not going through the RCSU, it's not optimized for high volume. How do we actually resolve this? So how can we make the flow from IOM to F&O go through the same architecture, i.e. the Headless Commerce engine, as a normal Dynamics sales channel? So instead of going through the standard connector, the out-of-the-box connector for finance and operations, we have a custom connector going through RCSU. It's not really a custom connector because the RCSU has a standard API for uploading orders. The only thing we do is to package that into a provider for IOM, i.e. a Dynamics Commerce provider, which connects to that API. So it's then working like this. We have the order rolling into IOM, we orchestrate it, we can go into the marketplace, to the consumer, and we can go via Headless Commerce, where also all the other channels or the other apps for those channels, for example the Store Commerce app, is connected or are connected. We go via the normal route, the normal route for retail and commerce, the standard APIs, Headless Commerce engine. We go to finance and operations, and eventually the order lands there. So that whole integration from RCSU to F&O via Commerce CDX is out of box. The order lands there, and from that point we have two options. One is we fulfill it from there by home delivery, for example, to the consumer, or for example in a pickup in store scenario, or a click and collect scenario, or even a ship from store scenario. We utilize the Store Commerce app to recall it and then fulfill it to the consumer. In doing so, we tick the three boxes of being compatible with headquarter functionality, right? For loyalty, for returns, etc. We're fully compatible with the out-of-box native dynamic sales channels, right? So the Store Commerce app, e-commerce front end, call center in the back end, and we are fully optimized for high volume, right? So the scale unit can receive hundreds of thousands of orders per hour, right? So even if such a high throughput would go from IOM through the scale unit, we would be able to manage it. And the CDX connection to finance operations is also capable of handling larger volumes. So we are much safer in terms of handling those volumes. So we'll now demo this scenario. So we will simulate online store operation by an Excel app. Then we will see the order landing into IOM and being processed into finance operations. So let's first flip to Excel. This is our web emulator, as we call it. As you can see, I'm operating on behalf of a sales channel. My order number is demo 715. I have my customer information. I have my delivery address. I have two lines in my cart. Please pay attention to the config IDs. So these are specific items, item variants actually. They are made to order. So they are specifically produced for this consumer. So pay attention, 715A, 715B. The delivery type is partial delivery. And the method of payment is tender type 1, which is ideal, the Dutch payment method. And the amount is 182.90. We'll simulate some interaction in the front end. And now we'll click the send order button, which is basically the checkout of the storefront. And that will soon land the order in IOM. So let's flip to IOM. Let's refresh the screen. And there's our order. 715, there's a C suffix, which is specific for this customer context. We'll open up the details and orchestration steps. And as you can see, the order is currently being validated. We'll keep on refreshing the screen and following the orchestration steps. So now the sync customer is actually processing. The sync customer is already called to the scale unit from IOM. So that's our Dynamics Commerce connector doing that. So it's basically utilizing standard APIs in the scale unit to validate if the customer exists. If it doesn't, then we are creating the customer into finance operations via the retail scale unit. It has created the product configuration. We'll check that in Dynamics soon. That means that the 715A and B released product variants have been created. We do that via the scale unit as well, because we land the order there as well, and then the variants need to exist. So we have created a custom endpoint in the scale unit, commerce runtime, customization or extension, to land that variant and have it also landing in F&O backend, and then we can safely land the commerce order into the scale unit. So we will be awaiting a business event now that order has really hit the backend. So a little bit of a step out to this picture. Once we have the transaction landed in the backend via the scale unit, so first it's a transaction here, synced here. Then there will be a batch converting that transaction to an order. And once that order is created, there is a business event raised to inform IOM that order has really landed. And when that happens, the next orchestration step is triggered. And that next orchestration step is actually, and I will flip back to IOM to show it, that is actually to create the purchase order. So yeah, it has hit IOM now. So the commerce order is really created. The purchase order is now in the process of being created and will be marked against the sales order. Then the shipping order is created to really ship it to the customer. But let's follow the commerce order in Dynamics. So if we go to online store transactions, this is where the orders coming from the point of sale. Sorry, the orders coming from the e-com front end also land from the point of sale. It's also first a transaction, but then we go to the store transactions view. So this is 100% standard commerce. We filter for that specific order number, and as you can see, it has arrived, and a sales order has been created. So it has been converted to a sales order. Let's open the sales order to really prove that this is a retail order. As you can see in the header view, retail sale is yes. We can also see that it's raised against an online store channel. If we open the payments, we can see that the 182.90 euro has indeed been landed against tender type 1. So that is as per the emulator. What we can also see if we go to line view is that these variants have been created, right? So these released product variants, if we click on that specific variant number, we'll see that it's indeed the 715A, and the other one should be the 715B. There it is. So they have been created in real time via the skill unit. What we'll do now, in order to prove that we can fulfill this also if we wanted to via the point of sale, is to basically change my mode of delivery, because now I have it on parcel delivery. So I click modify, because this order is now call center enabled, just like any normal Dynamics Commerce order. So I click on store collect, and I will also make sure that that explodes, of course, to line level, and I will make sure that we should pick it from the actual store. So I need to change my warehouse. It will error a bit because this is of course not intended to be done, because normally we do that already at sales, right? In the storefront where we select the store to pick it up. And there will also not be stock in the store, so we will not be able to really complete the pickup there, but at least I will show that we can see this order for pickup in the point of sale client. So this is my fulfillment view. I will refresh the screen, and as you can see, we have 2 additional lines now for 750 for the order 715, and these are the specific variants that we will pick up, the A and the B. Normally I would do this and then pick up, and that will lead me to the transaction screen, but as you can see, there is no stock yet, right? So 0 items to pick up, because the purchase order has not arrived yet with the goods. So we need to wait for those to arrive, and then we can pick this up. So in a nutshell, what we have seen an order which was raised from an online store, third-party system, rolling into IOM via the IOM orchestration. We checked for customer existence via the skill unit. If the customer account didn't exist, we created it. We created the variant via the skill unit. We created the commerce order via the skill unit. And also eventually, I didn't show it, but eventually we also marked the purchase order against that sales order. That was not happening via the skill unit. We did that via custom API in Finance Operations. But this proves that any third-party application, including IOM, can use the skill unit to land an order and to do any types of operation which is relevant for retail via the standard skill unit APIs. The only customization or extension that I've done to the skill unit here is the extension related to these specific variants that needed to be created in real time before the order landed. But uploading the order, creating the customer, verifying that the customer exists are all existing headless commerce APIs. So we just expose those through a provider in IOM, and we package it as a commerce provider, so we can utilize those APIs in the IOM orchestrations.